Good morning. Craig Howard here. Happy to be with you again this morning. Something that I was thinking about as I got up this morning is how I was thinking of the different people that have mentored me in life. I was thinking of people who have helped guide me as a pastor, who have helped guide me as a person. It's interesting the way God designed things, and one of the things that God teaches in the principles of His Word is the importance of the younger looking to the older, or the inexperienced looking to the experienced. One of the things I read this morning is that one of the problems that's existing in television these days is that because of all of the streaming platforms and all of the different ways that a person can get their idea or their show produced and made into a TV show, because there's so many different opportunities. Peanut is hitting my thing. Come here. One of the problems is that because of all of these different platforms, there are people that are coming into TV writing and TV producing and TV, making TV shows, and they're going. It used to be like a process you went through where if you were a young writer, you would pitch this idea to here, and it would come up, the channel, and oftentimes you were working under all of these other people before you ever got to produce your idea, even pitch your idea. You were working under all these other people, and before your idea ever even got pitched, you'd already seen the production of maybe 50 or 60 shows. Now, because of all the streaming platforms that are out there, there are young writers that are having much more opportunities, and I'm sure they're excited about it. But stuff is getting produced with very little experience, and many of these young writers are flaming out because they get 1 or 2 or 4 or 6 shows done, and all of a sudden people realize that the people that produced it in the streaming platform realize there's really no audience for this show, and they just back out on it, and this young writer is left high and dry with no place to go. Whenever I was a young pastor, one of the things that I tried to do was surround myself or put myself in places where I could be mentored by older, more experienced pastors. I would go to pastors' conferences of pastors that I looked up to and admired and listened to what they had learned and what they had done. I've sat under the feet of some of the greatest pastors, I think, that ever walked the planet, and learned from them. Pastors like Dr. David Jeremiah and John Maxwell and Jack Hyles, and the list can go on and on. I've sat in conference and talked with and listened to in very close quarters Billy Graham and members of the Billy Graham Association. So that doesn't mean that I'm anywhere near the caliber of these other individuals. It just means that I knew that as a younger pastor, I needed to learn from these people who had more experience. One of the greatest disservices that we do in our churches is that we don't pair younger and older together to work together in things like Bible school and Sunday school and other junior church ministries and children's ministries and committees and things like that. We oftentimes miss pairing them together and letting the younger enthusiasm learn from the older experience, so that the two can get the very best product possible. The Bible tells us in chapter 2 verses, I think it's 2 and 3, it admonishes the older women. You need to mentor. This is the Craig Howard translation. You need to mentor the younger women. The whole book of Timothy is Paul, 1st and 2nd Timothy both, is Paul mentoring this young pastor Timothy, this young church leader Timothy. And that's what it's all about. The whole book of Proverbs is about King Solomon trying to mentor his son and teach him and give him wisdom and give him guidance and let him learn from his experience. Now, don't get me wrong. We live in a time where mentorship is turning upside down in some ways, because oftentimes an older person doesn't know how to cope with the technology of today. And so my mentor for technology oftentimes is my son. But still, he calls me whenever he needs to pull from my experience. And he and I have worked together for years and years. And I've tried to mentor both of my children about attitudes and how to treat other people and how to control their anger and all these kinds of things. And I'm not always the best person to do that, but I've tried to spend time with them, teaching them and giving them wisdom. My point is, and this is getting long, so I need to hurry. My point is, if you are an older person, and by that I mean over 40, don't discount your responsibility to spend time working with, maybe you've worked in youth ministry for years and you say, okay, it's time to turn it over to the younger ones. No, it's time to work with the younger ones, because you still have things that you can teach about the Word of God and about wisdom and about behavior and about setting an example and all these kinds of things, where, yes, you need to pull from their enthusiasm, but don't back out of the ministry and say, I have nothing left to offer. I'm too old. What a foolish thought. I'm 63 years old. Next Sunday, I'm headed off to direct another youth camp. But these days, instead of running with the kids and doing the things that I used to do, I am working more with my younger counselors and my younger leaders and bringing them into working with the kids and developing relationships with the kids and showing them how important that is. My role has changed. And I don't like it necessarily, but I see the wisdom in it. And just because I can't do what I used to do doesn't mean I should stop doing what I can do and stop teaching those that are following me. Sometimes I wish they had a better teacher. You think about it. I've already been too long today. God bless you in all that you do. I hope you have a wonderful day. Mom and Dad, if you're watching, I love you. Bye now.